Master Cruz is an organizing expert. Master Organizing does everything you need, be it your home, a room, a closet, or even packing. Going on a trip can be stressful in regards to what you're going to take, what you're not going to take, and how the hell you're going to get it in the suitcase. Master Cruz can help with that, so she's with us today to let us know some tips on how to travel efficiently and not have so much stress while doing it. Thanks for joining us today, Master.
Thanks for having me, Nanci Jo.
So, organizing, packing, I really appreciated how much you helped me because, taking a carry-on for 16 days is not easy. And you made it so I even had a couple of things that I didn't even wear. It was so light and fantastic. And I thank you again for showing me how to do it so effectively. What is your strategy when you're sharing with people how to pack efficiently?
Sure. So the first thing you want to think about, are a couple of things. First of all, how long your trip is going to be. For example, you went on a 16-day trip. If you'll have access to laundry facilities, because that takes into account what you'll be packing and how, underwear, for example, how many you should bring, what the weather will be like, and more or less what the purpose of your travel is. If you're going to certain events, kind of business meeting, all those things you need to have conscious consideration of. And once you kind of have a focused idea of what the traveling event is going to be, that will help guide you more or less how to pack your bag.
Do you think it's important that people make a list to kind of go through what they think they need and then maybe to cut down from that list?
Definitely. So I actually suggest, packing a week before takeoff or, your road trip, and maybe even leaving things out that you could possibly use for that trip. And definitely writing down a list will certainly help. But when you start actually packing your bag, you can edit through and see, what combinations of clothing will work and what won't work. So definitely, make a list and start leaving things out a couple of days before your travel date.
What are some of the rules that you think are imperative when packing, especially if you're going to be taking it on, you're not going to be checking your bags?
So it's, a good rule of thumb to check out the TSA, and I think a lot of people know now that you're limited, for toiletries, you have to carry 3 ounces now. So you want to, again, check, the websites of where you're traveling. Maybe a certain hotel or whatnot's not going to have shampoo or conditioner available, then you certainly want to pack that. Those are the things to kind of think about.
Okay. And in regards to clothing?
In regards to clothing, you want to check again what the weather is going to be. So then there are basic things you want to bring. More or less, the way you want to think about packing is from head to toe. So you can start, with toiletries, what you're going to bring. And then when you get to clothing, you can think, okay, will I need a hat? Will it be raining? Next portion, going down is, will I be needing a scarf? Again, going down the body, will I need a jacket or a shirt, a long sleeve, pants, shoes, all the way down to socks and shoes. So you want to have kind of a darker color and a lighter color of each type of clothing from head to toe. That's a good rule of thumb and a basic thing. And then you can kind of mix, match, and coordinate things based on those basic items. And definitely you can use accessories to change those outfits out. So, for example, if you have a tank top that can be an undershirt for something, or it can be a top for a business meeting if it's dressy enough. But having those certain colors, a lighter color and a darker color can give those different variations of how to pack your bag for your travels.
You also said it was important so that there was symmetry between the clothing, so that you could mix and match, so that you did want light and dark, but you also wanted to dress in a way that also was able to create different outfits within a couple of pieces.
Definitely. So you have these basic neutral pieces of clothing, and then you can accessorize per your style of how you feel confident wearing those items. So again, just getting the neutral colors, a lighter, say, a shirt and a darker top. You can accessorize it with a scarf or different types of jewelry, colorful jewelry. Again, it just depends where you're traveling to and what is the purpose of your travel.
Another thing that was interesting is that, like you said, looking at where you're traveling, because, for example, Europe, they don't wear a lot of bright colors. So if you don't want to stand out as a tourist, looking at where you're traveling is something that, and the clothes and the type of clothes that they wear, that I would never have thought of before.
Right, exactly. So that's exactly the point. Having the neutral colors, you can coordinate according to where you're traveling. And if you know you're traveling outside of Europe, say you're traveling to Asia, which is more colorful, then you can have colorful pieces to put on to go with those neutral color tones.
Another thing that I thought was great was how we packed. And the way that you started with shoes first and then rolling. Do you want to talk about the different ways that one can pack their clothes? Because you said there were a couple of different variations. We chose the rolling method, but that there are a couple of variations that one can choose from.
Yes, there's many different ways you can pack your bag. And it actually depends also on what type of bag you're traveling with. In your case, you had a rolling carry-on, which the wheels are at the bottom and you have a handle on top. Some people, travel with duffel bags or just a backpack. But the general rule is you want to put, heavier things, shoes, for example, towards the wheels if you have wheels on your luggage. So when you were laying your bag on the ground, the shoes were on to the left because the wheels were located on the left. Because when you stand the bag right up, the shoes are at the bottom. And also, same thing with a duffel bag is you want to pack your shoes at the very bottom. That way, if your duffel bag is standing vertically up, it doesn't topple over onto other things. So that's the basic general rule is to have the heavier things towards the wheels of your bag and the bottom of your bag.
And then as far as the rolling or the folding or to get as much in the bag as possible without crushing things.
Right, so depending what type of material clothing you have, if you want to have a less wrinkled type of clothing, or if you don't have access to an iron, for example, you want to try the bundle method, which is basically kind of laying your clothes on top of each other, going from left to right. It's a little bit more complicated getting your clothes out in that method, but again, the pro is that you won't have as wrinkled clothing, and you want to put the clothing that wrinkles the most on the outside, or that would wrinkle more often on the outside. And the other method you could use is kind of like a vertical folding of your clothing, so that when you open your bag, you can see, the different types of shirts, the different types of pants, the different types of socks that you have, and you're not having to dig through your luggage to look for those things. And then lastly, another method is the rolling method, which is kind of a hybrid of both the bundle and the vertical method, because you're rolling your clothing so that it doesn't wrinkle as much, but at the same time kind of vertically stacking them so that you can view them when you need to find something.
It was so efficient, and it was so impressive that there were 2 layers, that you didn't do everything on one layer. You had the bottom layer and the top layer, and you were able to, as you just said, be able to see what you needed, but not have to pull out everything. Right.
You want to, and it saves time. So in your case, we had done two levels because I think you had the shoes on the bottom and then the undergarments on the bottom layer, and on the top layer was the T-shirts and pants. And again, I think we based that on what you were going to be unpacking first. So I think you said the drawers were going to contain the T-shirts and whatnot. So that's why we had put that on top first, because that was the first thing you were going to unload when you reached your destination. So again, it's something you have to consider in the beginning when you're packing. Again, where you're going to go and how you're going to unpack your bag. Maybe putting your toiletry on top first, because you'll be going to the restroom or taking a shower once you get to your destination. So it can work either way. It just depends on where you're going.
Well, I appreciate you sharing these tips, because they certainly help me, and I think they're going to help a lot of people when they're looking to pack. You can also check out Master Cruz at masterorganizing.net for more information, to follow her, or to get specifics on organizing your closet, your house, your home, or your luggage. Thanks so much, Master.
Thank you, Nanci Jo.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.